22 September 2023, Friday, 6 o'clock 42 minutes, Rio de Janeiro City, Brazil. We will have a conversation quite simple, quite clear. The while data attached with a project was delivered on time, considering the European Summit and all other areas, with central banks really concerned with the near future by the projection made based at the past, which was a situation that you had the distortion fails, risks not hair crimes, running the entire activity totally free, and hurt things, interests, individuals all around, respecting nothing. But once made this in an area that you has no excuse to do this, you for sure will assume your position and face the consequence by the acts you did. The proof offered has as value the systematical acts against rights and guarantees, and facts we offer are notorious, kind of explicit, including the collusion as last act, I would say, to prevent the consequence or avoid the consequence. Its interaction equally as organized crime. We offer the accountability to the International Criminal Court and others, considering all obstacles created or imposed, and kind no cooperation at all, just like usual, from Brazil and peers, especially at the institutions ruled by criminal purpose, which implies criminals inside, why they got there, how they got the entry, why they remain and still there. But we conquered what was supposed to be achieved, have the criminal system totally set and prepared for conviction, constraints, and now consequence affordable with regression until the checks using this financial instrument as a paycheck operated as a negotiable instrument with factory according with conditions we exposed at those times, which will consolidate the anti-crime budget as main purpose, be used as anti-crime purpose. Because since we had states ruled by criminal attitude and organizations will be kind of common, as we observe in some areas, have the law enforcement or groups not linked with the corruption or with not so strong ties as we observe in Brazil and other areas, choked to be, under suppression until get associated or linked. Trust scam is a collusion or compadrio. It's issue on Chicago School. It's codified. Positive one with the Banach space as something regular but corrupted, and finally unveiled as criminal purpose. One of the consequences is the trial with the motivation by treasonous acts, because run, keep, sustain and encourage the criminal activity from departments, states and governments, considering the Congress and the activism made to ensure the criminal purpose, it's something at least treasonous. And worse when you consider that the stability based on criminal comfortable association or tolerance is something regular. It's not, it's association, it's criminal association. we offer the accountability to the International Criminal Court, the International Police, the OECD, Eurobanks, and others observed that Brazil and peers never cooperated but the opposite, trying by hoax and misperception of all things made, created or conquered. You violate the right as freedom, as expression of thoughts, and so many other things that are essential human rights, rights of the individual, which is the basis as existence of all or any society. And since unable to steal data and supply their needs as groups of organized crime, they try to destroy what they can have or steal, including a person. Can be an individual, a company, or a moral entity like this creditor. And when they can't steal the intelligence required by criminal groups, they try to destroy. We will observe, please take a look, risk report 2023, trace september.blogspot.com. We have a lot of things. We will kind of suspend some polls and have only one or two in the end of the month, because the layout is kind of more clear and the idea is kind of really expressed. The polls before the goofy and regular is kind of to expose that we have some rights as paycheck rights, which is request to ensure a list of things. Some elements listed as payback, which is the kind of the return of something you do. If you see roses, you will have roses. If you see pepper and disgrace, you will have disgrace. If you violate rights systematically, you will have as return something at this way. And we observe that this is a right. If you try to do my annihilation, I can claim the annihilation of you all. But it doesn't mean that this will happen, but will be used as an audit to express the idea that the institutional power acts only when has the interest, considering all things, including the control, was complained as lack of will by the OECD. And we observe that the idea indeed is confirming the final moment of piracy at the institutional arena, which is the organized crime using and setting the criminal purpose as future of your organization, which implies harass the future of next generation by things made at the past with no control at all, and projecting things in the way we were having. Probably this will happen. And we must observe that the groups of rights as payback requiring or requesting to ensure the right, which is request those rights, and having on it the idea as international police reciprocity. Because, my dear criminal offenders, you could expose yourselves, and we use this during the creation, the development, the delivery, and the first uses of the white data attached, respecting nothing as usual. And of course that you felt any kind of uncomfortable situation because you are very comfortable as a criminal using the state and institutional power to hurt anything, destroy everything. And this go by hiring, made and hired, people that you had. with storages linked with as economic or privileged through the architecture as power used by those specific hands, setting levels as storage of power, economic values, whatever, in other levels. At the bank system or any kind of system, we will observe that has a criminal purpose on it, with interaction as inter or dialogue between institutions but ruled as criminal purpose, or dialogue inside an institution by criminal purpose. And we are, of course, claiming the criminal conviction at the International Criminal Court by the misuse of state and institutional power. Considering the aggressions made since Brazil, G20, and all others linked with, we will observe that we have requested a lot of things here. Some you will consider an absurd, but is part of the things you saw it. You saw a disgrace, you will have disgrace. But you feel uncomfortable. You consider that was something outrageous. But is something outrageous by your sense? Because it's against you all. And it's against you all because you saw this before. It's international police as reply back. By this, we had the first element to your conviction with it, which is the guiltiness. It's your consciousness about something wrong you did, forbidden, illegal, that has as concrete result at least the possibility to change the reality of someone or someone else. All acts you perpetrate are illicit or illegal. We have all elements here to your conviction according with the theory of crime. Observed elements on Europe, but things a bit more specialized. All these things here has a finalism. Right? Which was flowing through the misuse of power, avoid any kind of consequence against the power misused. Am I telling an absurd? The guiltiness we proved by the listed right as reciprocity police that you consider an absurd. But it's a reciprocity police. You did something at the same intensity at first. It's a reply. The second, the consciousness of your acts, signed orders, and abusive procedure for criminal purpose during the wild data attached and since 2014, at least. All things you did are illegal or illicit, and you are unable in the way we proved here to satisfy, for instance, the guarantee as international guarantee to claim transparency of your acts or your budget. Finalism of all things you did. Prevent the consequence again, this inside the International Criminal Court. Prevent the consequence or avoid the consequence by misuse of power, against the misuse of state and institutional power, by the institutional power misused, because you are still doing this. Any question? Request to recognize the economic espionage and apply all consequences affordable. Have a great night, day. You are totally audited.